Also, the social cognitive theory developed by Albert Bandura emphasizes the dynamic integrity or interplay between personal factors, behavior, and environmental influences. It highlights how individuals learn not only through um, direct experience, but also by observing others within their social context. The theory aligns strongly with my advocacy, which seeks to empower individuals and communities through sustainable livelihood initiatives and capacity building by creating opportunities to, such as, well, to observe successful role models, such as entrepreneurs or public servants leading change, communities are more likely to adopt similar values, behaviors, and of course, goals. My advocacy also reflects SCT's core concept of self-efficacy, or the belief in one's ability to succeed in specific situations. Through training, mentorship, and exposure to sustainable practices, individuals gain the confidence to innovate and participate actively in improving their socio-economic conditions. And of course, when people believe they can make a difference, they are more likely to engage in civic-oriented and entrepreneurial behaviors that contribute to community resilience and inclusive development. That's according to Bandura. So this year we have expanded the reach of our lectures as we shared or started bringing in resource speakers or persons from different fields outside the country, tapping our international academic partners in Indonesia, Thailand, and of course Taiwan, students and faculty members of our partner colleges and universities abroad engage with speakers and students attending in the university while on site, and this is aligned with the framing theory. Now, framing advocacy messages through talk shows and academic lectures influence how audiences respond to local issues and local or policy concerns. So this draws from message framing theory and encourages students to critically evaluate how their strategic use of communication affects public perception and, of course, motivate them to act. So framing selects and underscores elements to shape perception according to Entman. So what are the positive frames? These are the opportunities and governance. Also the innovation that we introduce, and of course, sharing sustainability and educating our audiences about sustainability. In this way, they can also integrate it in their own daily activities. So audience gains a sense of agency and hope because we're able to like give them ideas, insights, and these learnings they can bring when they go home and introduce, also apply in their own families and their communities. Also, it's important that we integrate the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in all of our lectures. I make sure that these SDGs are all integrated in the lectures that we have in the Tycoon Talk. Also, my advocacy for empowering um, communities through sustainable livelihoods and inclusive development aligns with the message design logic, which emphasizes that the way we construct messages reflects our understanding of communication and influences how effectively we can actually inspire action. So, by adopting a rhetorical message design logic, the message I craft are not only informative but also adaptive to the needs and values and goals of diverse audiences, whether they are students, educators, farmers, entrepreneurs, or local government leaders. So this approach allows me to frame advocacy in a way that fosters shared meaning, encourages dialogue, and motivates people to participate in sustainable and transformative practices that benefit both individuals and the broader community. So it is a conscious effort on my part to make sure that all discussions, the topics, and the lectures of our guest lecturers are all aligned with a specific SDG making sure also that the messages and the framing of these messages will resonate with everyone in the audience, whether these are graduate school students, undergrad students, or those from the public, secondary, public and private, secondary schools, business leaders, or government officials, or those from the academy. So messages follow different logics. We have the expressive, conventional, and then the rhetorical. Rhetorical logic, messages that are designed for shared understanding. So communication as a coordinated adaptive process based on audience context. So when we tailor content to graduate students or undergrad or public school students and international partners, we make sure that what the messages or the message that we deliver will really fit their interests and how they are able to digest and absorb these messages, because these are important. Otherwise, we fail as communicators if we're not able to deliver the messages efficiently, clearly, and effectively. So, given my strong foundation in civic oriented journalism through BMPM and leadership in the academic based public discourse like the Tycoon Talk series, a natural and powerful perspective to ground my continuing advocacy would be the civic engagement and participatory communication perspective, enriched by the communicative action theory of Jürgen Habermas. So, using this media experience, we can actually enrich learning and civic orientation. Then, of course, foster cross-sectoral collaboration, government, business, civil society, education sector, they're all there to help out in the advocacy. Then we are also able to build an engaged and globally aware student body. So my practice brings together multiple stakeholders, encourages public discourse, and fosters collective learning. These are all essential elements in communicative action and participatory democracy. So Habermas highlights the importance of dialogue, also rational discourse and mutual understanding in democratic processes. According to Servaes, participatory communication supports inclusive horizontal communication that empowers citizens to take part in decisions that affect their lives. Now, moving forward, I'd like to bring this advocacy from awareness building to active capacity building. So, my experiences and learnings from what I have been doing in the media and now in the academe taught me that civic education needs creativity and adaptability. So, media literacy and partnerships are powerful tools. So, it is my intention to sustain the Tycoon Talk series and replicate it in other colleges in the university and eventually share it with the rest of the Negros Island region or Region 18 through our Council of International Relations Officers under the Commission on Higher Education, where I sit as Vice President for External Affairs. There also is a need to expand SDG aligned content and, of course, train students as advocacy communicators. It is important to start them young. So the table below the photos that you can see on my slide actually shows the practical alignment of these two advocacies and how these are grounded on specific theories. Like, for example, BMPM, my BMPM experience promotes citizen journalism. Tycoon Talk promotes sectoral, multi-sectoral, and hybrid dialogue, the use of digital platforms, technologies, and both are grounded on the public sphere theory. Now, BMPM is about empowering voters. Tycoon Talk is about empowering students, educators, and of course, stakeholders, partners. And it's both are grounded on participatory communication. BMPM promotes real-time reporting of civic issues, while Tycoon Talk gives real-time access to ideas shaping governance and sustainability. Now, moving forward, I'm looking at all of this on the list as, you know, probable initiatives that we can actually embark on, like doing civic oriented research to capacitate students and those and participants, regional think tanks with youth and policy advocates across the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, given, you know, our direction on, or our thrust now on internationalization. And of course, we can do policy communication campaigns with academic and media synergy. And of course, localized SDG labs where students prototype civic solutions with industry and local government mentors. Coming from, you know, the media, I really believe that we have to be pragmatic in our approaches to learning and educating students. There has to be this coaching and mentoring by experts, by practitioners, by industry leaders to really, you know, equip students or learners with relevant information, knowledge, and of course the necessary skills that will make them globally competitive. And so that their knowledge and skills when they graduate will really fit the requirements or the demands of different industries. Finally, I am, you know, may this be a reminder to us all that advocacy is not just a campaign, it is a continuous, community rooted, cross platform commitment. So it's something that you don't do over 10 years, but it's something that, you know, you start small and you sustain. So sustainability is really important in every advocacy, and it really requires our commitment to be able to like see it fulfill its objectives or its goals. So I leave you with two questions. I'd like to hear from you. Please post your answers or maybe additional insights and information that you would like to share with the class to enrich my discussion. You know, the presentation that I shared with you, I'm sharing with you my references. I hope that you've learned something from what I shared with you today. So thank you very much, everybody. Terima kasih banyak. Tuhan memberkati. That is in Indonesian, and it means thank you very much and God bless you.